Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Remember, I work for you, not for politicians, not for anybody else. You are my boss.
Warren Mayor's message. Jim Fouts breaks tradition and releases his State of the City address a day early and in a recorded video.
Also furious and fed up, Macomb County residents lashing out at the Michigan Senate for how it plans to help pay for the massive sinkhole in Fraser.
And Super Soaker. Metro Detroit about to get hit with a whole lot of rain starting tonight. Thanks for being with us for the news tonight at 11. This is no light shower. We're talking about a couple of inches of rain here.
A real soaker coming. Ben Bailey, let's start there at 11. Ben?
Yeah, you guys remember Saturday and Sunday. Well, we're pretty much going to take that, just repeat the process here for tomorrow and Friday, although everything that we're showing up on 4 Live radar right now is extremely light. And if you've been following this on the on our app or on a website, there have been a lot of radar returns, but very little of this is actually making it to the ground. You start looking down here to the south and you can see the breadth of this system, and it's just starting to fill in. This is the actual low that's back here in Kansas, and until that thing sweeps through here really late Friday, our chances of rain are going to be more or less continuous once we get towards tomorrow morning's commute. So by the time everything is said and done, the computer models have kind of been all over the road as far as the rainfall totals go. But it does look like a safe bet that a lot of us are going to pick up more than an inch of rain. The question is, how much snow is going to be on the front side of this? We'll look at that coming up in your full forecast in a few minutes.
All right, Ben. Well, the repayment plan for the massive drain collapse in Macomb County is raising some eyebrows tonight. 600,000 people in Macomb County are on the hook for that payment. But what the Michigan Senate did tonight has city and county leaders furious and residents saying they're fed up. Mara McDonald live in Fraser. And Mara, of course, it's all about the money.
It's all about money and it's all about politics, Devin. And when those two mix, usually politicians don't have a whole lot to say. Not so tonight. The sharp knives are out. Take a look. Even Diamond the dog is throwing shade on the move the Michigan Senate made tonight. Her owner, Kevin, is in complete agreement.
The Senate does what they want to do. And they're not here seeing this, living in this, smelling this. They're not here. They're up there playing their games in Lansing like they've been doing for years.
Tonight, the Michigan Senate voted to offer Macomb a $5 million interest-free loan to help out. But the House had already approved a $3 million grant to help, which wouldn't have to be paid back. The Senate wouldn't go for it.
I've had everybody from Lansing come here and admire our drain collapse. I haven't seen a dollar yet.
And it doesn't look like Fraser or any of the other 11 communities that are part of the drainage district will either. Public Works Commissioner Candace Miller laying it out tonight. Quote, I am getting ready to go out and borrow millions of dollars to pay for this work. The State House and the governor's office understand this. They're trying to help. Now Meekhoff decides he wants to loan me $5 million. If I had $5 million to pay him back, I wouldn't need the money in the first place. Miller isn't mincing words, saying Senate Majority Leader Arlen Meekhoff is playing games and lacks leadership. Nichols says they'll just have to soldier on.
We're going to do what people in Macomb County do. We're going to do what the people in Fraser do. We're going to lock our arms together. We're going to get it done. We were hoping Lansing would help, but we understand that it doesn't appear they have an appetite to do so.
Back here live, Meekhoff has a few things of his own to say. Number one, he thinks all of this is a Macomb problem, not a state problem. Number two, he says Candace Miller has clearly been in Washington, D.C. too long, and that his $5 million loan does help, and she doesn't get to dictate terms. We are live in Fraser tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara. A gunman opens fire in a neighborhood while children play outside. The shooting happened off 7 Mile in Margarita, and it left one man dead and another injured. Jermont Terry is live at Sinai Grace Hospital tonight, where the one victim showed up. Jermont.
Kimberly, that man with a gunshot wound walked into the ER here. Doctors called police, and detectives were able to connect the dots and determine that this was their second victim and what turned out to be a deadly shooting not too far from here.
I just closed my door because I seen all the kids outside playing.
Seconds later, gunshots filled the air near Margarita and Granville, just off 7 Mile on Detroit's west side.
I couldn't just believe that when you see kids out and you just go open fire like that.
Police say 3 men were talking on the block when at least one pulled out a gun, shooting 2 people. After getting her kids to safety, Angela Dixon looked across the street in disbelief.
The guy's laying over there, folded up.
That guy was bleeding from several gunshots at close range. Police found a gun on scene, but it doesn't appear to belong to the shooter. Several witnesses tell me they saw a man running down the street, still carrying his gun.
It was really nerve-wracking because this is the first time anything like this ever happened since I've been here for 3 years.
Emergency crews rushed the first victim to the hospital.
Because I didn't see him cover him up, or nothing like that, so I'm thinking he's okay.
But the 26-year-old did not survive.
It's very disheartening.
As police worked the scene, they later learned about the second victim. He showed up at the emergency room, but those in the neighborhood are shaken. The shooter did not care about the innocent children.
Yeah, it was children outside playing. It was nice outside today. Children playing, up and down the street, what kids do.
And tonight, police have a very vague description of the gunman who fired those shots. That second victim here at Sinai Grace is expected to survive. And interesting enough, it doesn't appear that any of the people involved in this shooting actually lived in that neighborhood, which is even more baffling for police. For now, reporting live tonight, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
All right, Jermont. Embattled Warren Mayor Jim Fouts has released his State of the City address, but a day early. He was set to give it live tomorrow, but instead he released a 66-minute video message tonight. In it, Fouts highlights the city's efforts to promote diversity, in fact, introducing the city's first diversity coordinator. Fouts has been under fire, of course, for alleged racist comments and disparaging comments about people with disabilities. The mayor concluded his address by thanking the people of Warren.
Your very empathetic support to me at public events, in emails, on my home phone call is greatly appreciated and highly valued. Thank you for your words of encouragement, and I will continue to be mayor as you have encouraged me to continue.
Fouts has not said why he chose to do the State of the City this way. That address is going to air tomorrow on Warren Cable TV, but you can view it now if you want in its entirety. We've got it at clickondetroit.com.
Tragedy in Texas. 13 people are now dead after a bus filled with senior citizens crashed into a pickup truck. It happened 90 miles outside San Antonio. The minibus was bringing the seniors back from a church retreat when a pickup truck crossed the median and hit them head on. Only one person on the bus and the driver of the pickup survived. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating that crash.
New information tonight on the FBI raid at Senator Burt Johnson's home and Senate office. According to Local 4 sources, the investigation is linked to the corruption case involving principals and the EAA, the Education Achievement Authority. You may recall 14 people were charged in that kickback scandal. Well, 20 reptile cages are empty tonight after a man threw a rock into the front of a Livonia pet store and then stole the animals.
Surveillance cameras at Stinger's Exotics show the man creeping around the store early Monday morning. He then stuffs a variety of reptiles in a bag, totaling $5,000. Also stolen were the owner's personal pets, 2 bearded dragons. Police are asking anyone who knows the man to come forward. Thousands of dollars in equipment stolen from a business in Van Buren Township, but the thieves may not be on the run for long. Take a look here. Surveillance cameras captured some pretty clear pictures of the 3 men lurking around New Lawn Sod Farm and DeBuck's corn maze early Monday morning. They spent more than an hour on the property and left with a motorcycle, a 4-wheeler, generator, and power tools. Anyone who recognizes them is asked to call Van Buren Township Police.
We all know we're supposed to be quiet in a library. That didn't happen tonight in Westland. Crowds gathered to protest the firing of 5 librarians. They claim the employees were let go after deciding to join a union. That union has since filed a lawsuit on the librarians' behalf for unfair termination. Members of the library board say they can't comment because it's now pending litigation.
Intruders caught by surprise while snooping around a stranger's home. What happened that sent the break-in into a whole new terrifying direction?
Also, a basket brawl. Coaches exchanging punches at a youth basketball game. What sparked this? Karen?
Our goal is to save a life.
Giving family, friends, even co-workers of heroin addicts a way to save their lives. I'm Local 4 Defender Karen Drew, who experts say should know how to use Narcan to stop the prescription pain pill and heroin epidemic.
Well, believe it or not, every 12 minutes, someone dies from a prescription pain pill overdose.
The faces of this addiction problem can be our family, our friends, co-workers, people hooked on prescription medications, others hooked on heroin.
Naloxone, known to most as Narcan, can save the life of someone addicted to an opioid. That's why Families Against Narcotics is teaching anyone who wants to learn how to use it.
Yeah. As Defender Karen Drew explains, it is no longer just law enforcement and the medical community who should have it at the ready.
1 in 3 families feels the pain of this opioid epidemic. John Mattarella's family is one of them, which is why he now shows others how to use Narcan, the drug that can bring an addict back from an overdose.
I come from a typical all-American family. Not divorced, no strife in the family. Soccer coach, did all the right things, went to church, we had dinner, we read to our children, all those things. My son became an opioid addict.
John Mattarella's son, Anthony, became addicted to prescription pain pills after an injury. Then heroin.
About 75% of heroin, those who use heroin, did so after abusing prescription opioids to treat pain.
The story of addiction has a happy ending. Anthony recently celebrated 1 year of being clean. John turned to Families Against Narcotics for help during his family's struggle with this epidemic.
This group was extremely helpful in getting me back my life within my family.
John is a nurse anesthetist, volunteering his time to teach people how to save an addict's life if they overdose.
Teaching the general public how to use Narcan is very important in saving our loved one's life.
FAN offers free classes on how to use Narcan nasal spray. Narcan temporarily blocks the effects of the opioid until EMS can arrive.
You want to administer a single spray into one nostril of the adult or the child.
When Narcan works, the addict can go into acute narcotic withdrawal. That can last quite some time.
They're going to become agitated and combative.
Narcan can be used to save a life, but it cannot stop the addiction.
This is an emergent situation where a opioid addict has taken too much and they have stopped their breathing or slowed their breathing down, and they need to have it reversed. They die if they are not given this reversal of the opioid.
If someone is struggling with addiction, every family member should absolutely have this on hand in their home, carried around at all times.
Katie Donovan of FAN says Narcan is for accidental overdoses too, like a senior who accidentally takes too much.
Any place really that has a bathroom, you should be carrying this. Anything can happen at any time.
Katie's daughter Brittany battled heroin addiction for 7 years before getting clean.
And almost destroyed our family.
Carrying Narcan wasn't an option when Katie's daughter was an addict. She's grateful other families have this tool available to them as the epidemic worsens.
It does not matter where you live. It does not matter what you do for a living. It does not matter what color, what religion. It does not discriminate. It is happening everywhere.
This is one thing that we can do to save our loved ones, and it's working.
Everyone who attends the training gets a free Narcan kit to take with them. If you want more information on this FAN program, we put a link on the Defender page of clickondetroit.com. I'm Karen Drew, Local 4 Defenders.
Such a huge problem now.
It is. Just today, President Trump held meetings at the White House with victims of opioid, what he referred to as the epidemic.
Big deal all across the country. All right, here's a look at what Nick Monticelli is working on for tomorrow night.
Let's put your backpack on.
He's not even 2 years old, and he is captivating our hearts. Elliot Carter, the boy with an infectious smile on the outside and disease on the inside that no one can cure. I'm Nick Monticelli, and that is the lingering question. Will he be with us, and for how long?
I just want a glimpse in the future. I just want to see a year from now. I want to see 5 years from now. I want to know that he's going to be with us.
Tomorrow on Local 4 News at 11, Elliot Carter and his parents' courageous and emotional battle to find a cure anywhere they can.
All right, Nick. We had the makings of a really good day early on, and then the clouds came in, and now we got a real gully washer on the way.
Some early April showers, it seems.
That's true, yeah. Just a few days ahead of schedule. Yeah. We really don't need any more rain. Our rainfall totals have been pretty close to average, just a little bit above, but we are going to get some. In fact, we've picked up over 2 inches for the month. We're going to be adding to those totals here very shortly. This is the water vapor loop, which is basically the satellite image of the moisture in the mid levels. And you can tell two things here. You can see the swirl. This is where the low pressure center is out in Kansas. And the other thing you can see is the moisture flow, where it's just taking this Gulf moisture and redepositing it right back through the Ohio Valley and heading up towards the Great Lakes. So there's going to be plenty of moisture for this system to work with as we get through the next 48 hours, starting as soon as tonight, even though what's out there on 4 Live radar is pretty light, and it's continuing to lighten up, at least on our side of the map. It looks like these echoes just a little bit more intense out there between Jackson and a little bit further off to the west, but all dry conditions right now. This is all overcast skies. Nobody's reporting rain on our side of Michigan. We'll probably see a few raindrops in spots overnight, but it's really going to be towards the end of the morning commute when this rain gets going in earnest. So the temperatures have been in the 40s for the southern part of the area. We've seen the 30s here in our north zone. Sandusky's at 35, 37 in Lapeer, and 36 in Port Huron. We're pretty close to our morning lows here in our north zone. Probably see these numbers drop just a little bit more elsewhere until we get right around 40 degrees in most locations tomorrow morning. So here's how nighttime hours play out. Again, not a whole lot to look at until you get towards tomorrow morning. And then those temperatures still cold enough in our north zone that we are going to see some at least light snow on the onset of this. Maybe enough to sit on some deck railings, maybe some tops of mailboxes, and that's going to be about it. Everything becomes liquid once we get to lunchtime, and then it's just rain after rain after rain. Once we get into Friday, maybe a little bit of a break early in the day, but once that low gets close to us, this latest match of the computer models is keeping that low out here. So most of that next push of moisture on Friday is staying out over Ontario. However, the track has really kind of been all over the place in the last several model runs, so it's still possible that that low could be tracking up right through southern Michigan. We'll keep an eye on it for Friday. Here are the low temperatures we're expecting. Again, right around 40 degrees in the city, slightly cooler in the northern part of our metro zone. Generally right around 40 degrees in our south zone. And in our west zone, not a whole lot of difference there. Upper 30s, and north zone, you're pretty much at the lows right now. Once those showers end on Friday, the weekend looks pretty good. We will be seeing dry conditions for both Saturday and Sunday, and more rain as we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So we will be seeing some nice April, or some Mayflowers, right?
Yeah, Mayflowers. Yes. April showers.
We're just a month ahead of schedule.
You know what Mayflowers bring?
No.
Pilgrims.
Well done.
Think about it. Think about it.
Okay. We'll be thinking about it. It could have been deadly. A car speeds around a stopped school bus. What the driver did that has her being called a hero tonight.
Also, a home break-in, already terrifying enough, but what surprised these robbers in a bedroom took it to an entirely new level. We'll have that next.
I get it now.
It's time.
New information tonight about the crash that took the life of a 6-year-old girl. Police now tell us the mother who was driving was drunk.
Little Maya Tisdale was killed when the car slammed into a tree. This was on Detroit's east side. Now her mother remains in the hospital and does not yet know that her daughter died. Her 1-year-old son was also in the car, but he's going to be okay. A judge has issued now a gag order in the case of former gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar that prevents the accusers from making public statements. Nassar's accused of molesting more than 80 girls. His defense requested the gag order, saying it's the only way that Nassar's going to be able to get a fair trial.
Detroit's EMS team has been working to improve the city's medical response times. For the past 2 years, firefighters have been cross-training so that they can respond to medical emergencies as well. Tomorrow, Mayor Duggan and the fire commissioner will announce a major step forward in that program. And of course, we'll keep you covered on that.
A burglary quickly became a violent robbery when 2 men discovered someone was still home. The woman hid behind a locked door inside this house in Washington State. When one of the robbers realized she was there, gets his partner, and they kick in the door. The woman says they ripped jewelry right off her body. The intruders then continued rummaging through her belongings, and they are still on the run, though of course there is now at least a little bit of videotape.
A youth basketball championship game ended in a brawl, but it was the coaches who were displaying unsportsmanlike behavior. It was after a close game in Albuquerque. The assistant coach of the winning team got into the face of the opposing coach, bumping him in the chest. There's the video there. That's when a parent came to defend the coach, punching the other man in the face. Both coaches claim the other was yelling rude comments to players. No charges will be filed in all of that.
But the winning coach started to see.
Goodness.
Didn't know he won.
A school bus driver is being credited with saving several children from a speeding car.
You see a car speed past the right side of a stopped school bus in South Carolina. What you don't see is the driver holding her arm out the window, warning 3 kids not to cross the street. Driver says she noticed the car behind her driving erratically and feared that the car wouldn't stop, and it turned out her instincts were on the money.